our duels. Card of the week time. This one's gonna be a little special. Maybe this camera will focus. We'll do focus. We'll do a little candid camera action, and maybe it'll focus. There we go. Hey, I'm back. So this week is a little special. I had something else that I wanted to talk about. I guess I'll do that next week or later. We're gonna talk about Firewall Dragon this week. Now I know y'all already know about Firewall Dragon, so we're not gonna waste time talking about, hey, what did the card do? When was it printed? We're not gonna do that this week. We're gonna talk about the ban list pretty much, and how YuGiOh players are ungrateful, and it seems like a lot of people just want the game to die. This is going to be a little bit of a hot button, red hot button topic. So, alright, we'll talk about it now. So, as you all know, ban list came out earlier, and banned Firewall, which is what the community wanted, right? That's what I thought when they started their little campaign, commenting ban Firewall and everything. And literally not even an hour later, I see posts, what, this is it? This isn't enough. This is a bad list. Why'd they ban Firewall Dragon? People are legitimately complaining that they got exactly what they wanted. And if people didn't complain, Konami probably wouldn't have banned Firewall Dragon. And I don't understand. They complain about... This goes for YuGiTubers, too. They complain how these formats are degenerate and how FTKs are ruining this game. And then 5 minutes later, brand new FTK deck profile by Team Samurai X1. Best Danger Dark World FTK, best Mayakashi FTK. They complain about these, ruining the game, and then they're like, alright, well, we'll let you guys know about them and show you exactly how to do them so you know how to play them. And it's like, well, if you don't... I get that people are going to play it and they're going to find out anyways, but why make the information more readily available if it's just something that is a detriment to the game? Honestly, I believe Firewall Dragon is not a problem. No, it's really not. And I think he'll be back relatively soonish. Probably not within the next 3 or so lists, but I don't think his stay on the list will be very long. And people complain, well, how do I play my FTK deck now? You don't. And then 5 minutes later, oh, here's a new FTK deck profile without Firewall and without Summon Sorceress. I don't get it. You complain about these, and then literally 5 minutes after this list, you're like, here's a new FTK, guys, go nuts. Why do you bother? Why do you like making the game unenjoyable? Or so you say. I don't care about FTKs. I've never been FTK'd once in my life. I have FTK'd people. Gem Knights. It's the only FTK I've ever played. I've played against the Danger Dark World FTK. Didn't get FTK'd. Maybe it's a thing where it's like, well, if it happens to you, you'll hate it more. Sort of thing. But I digress. Shit like that's gonna happen in any card game. I'll tell you what happened to me playing Final Fantasy. I played against a Black Mage deck that literally just every turn, no matter what I did, just popped all of my cards and just attacked me over and over and over again. Man, it was just ridiculous. And people are complaining about playing against Control now. It's like, well... 1, Altergeist is barely even Control. 2, Sky Striker isn't Control. It's more aggro, combo-oriented, skill-based. 3, Denko Sekka is the best card of the format. I'm using this finger, not the other one. Denko Sekka is the best card of the format. Pick up your Denko Sekkas now. Stops Altergeist. Stops Trickstar. You can't get reincarnation. Stops Sky Striker, because they can't multi-roll. And if they do multi-roll, well, they're all set now. Thunder Dragon, I think, could definitely be a contender for the best deck of the format. But it all depends. It all depends. On who goes first. It's still die roll. The game, I think, forever now is going to be die roll. But, there's always going to be the outliers. I had a couple good games today that went on for more than 2 turns. Thunder Dragon can make 2 Colossus and a Titan in 1 turn with 5 cards to discard to pop everything your opponent does. But, that's just how the game's gonna go. It's not gonna stay 2002 forever. Like, that's why I'm having a hard time, because I want to get back into, like, playing Final Fantasy TCG. But the game, it's only been 4 sets since I've played, and the game has already evolved so much that I feel so out of the loop trying to get into that. You know, I want to play Palamporum, I want to play Sid Mill, I don't think they're viable. And then you look at, Final Fantasy has its own version of, like, degenerate meme trash too. It's called Ice. So if for the unimbibed, what Ice does is lets you not use your cards, and they discard your hand. Sounds familiar, right? A Gumblar. You should have went, not Firewall. You know, and just play Neko Main King, dude. So, Yu-Gi-Oh players are always gonna have something to complain about. You know, they complained about Firewall. Now that they're complaining that the ban list didn't do enough. And, you know, even though Cosmo's now back at full power. Hi, Cosmo players, all 3 of you. I know you guys waited a really long time for this. You deserve it. Assault Core's back. You know, he spent a little time in the pen. He didn't go to prison. He was just in jail. He was locked up. You know, they sent him out. He's on parole. Is ABC gonna be tier 1 again? Probably not. Is ABC gonna be its little meme trash tier 2 floating around, could top an event maybe? Bubble thing, yeah. You know, Called by the Grave is back at 3. It needed to be. I do think the hit to both Mali and Armageddon Knight was excessive, though. You know, I know enough about the competitive scene and, you know, how these decks work to know that, yeah, 1 cards into a full extra link board is pretty bad. But I don't know, man. You also gotta just roll with it. Because if you cry bloody murder at every single, you know, really good thing in the game, you know, and you could argue, yeah, it's degenerate, you lock your opponent out, you remove all their cards. The game has to evolve, and it's not 2002. You know, it's not I normal summon fucking Neo the Magic Swordsman, set trap hole, pass. It's you know, oriented, and believe it or not, there is a genuine back and forth. Even with stuff like Hand Trap and Colossus and Widow Anchors flying around and stuff like that, and Gumblar looping 5 cards out of your hand, there are back and forths. There is interaction between both players. It's a lot more limited than it was like 5 years ago, that's for damn sure. You know, even then 5 years ago, Dragon Rulers, we saw this. Dragon Rulers and Spellbooks, they both did their whole thing turn 1. And, you know, if they drew their 17 cards, they won. I don't remember people really, like, yelling, screaming, bloody murder, complaining back then. Then again, I was playing, like, Black Wings with, like, 1 Black Whirlwind and Morphing Jar and Plague Spreader Zombie. So I wasn't really one to judge. Mark was playing Prophecy. He was playing Spellbooks, but Judgments were, you know, $100 back then. We were Team Broke Boy. I was, like, in high school, so I didn't have very much money. I was about to start playing Medolce, because Angeli was about to be out. I was about to trade that Sanctum for Angeli and have the grandest time of them all before I picked up Sylvans. You know, we should do that. We should do a history of our team, of the decks that we've played over the years. You know, it's whatever. I'm rambling at this point. I think you got the gist of it in the first 5 seconds. Stop complaining when Konami gives you legitimately everything that you asked for. You asked for Firewall ban, they banned him. Cool. There you go. The list really didn't need to do more. It didn't need to bring back some meme card, even though it should have brought back something like Time Seal, but whatever. They put A back to 3, because A had no reason to be hit in the first place. They put Called by the Grave back to 3, which had no reason. And they put Dark Destroyer, which gives, you know, power to this other fan favorite deck. Legitimately, Cosmo, like, the 2.5 to 4 years ago, I don't remember exactly when Cosmo came out, 3 years ago. Cosmo was huge. It's a fan favorite deck. It was topping events everywhere, everyone was playing it. Dark Destroyers were $100. They're like half that right now. Don't pick up Dark Destroyers, I'm telling you, wait. But, you know, this list, you couldn't have asked for a different list, honestly. I don't think you can. I mean, yeah, you could have asked for some meme trash back. They could have put something to 3 from the semi-limited list. Besides Dark Destroyer, they could have put something else. They could have put a Necroface at 3. They could have done some meme trash, like putting Night Assailant to 2, which is, just, pretty fun stuff. They could have brought back, I'll say this right now. Petition, bring back every flip effect monster on the list to 1. So, Morphing Jar 2, Cyber Jar, is there even any more flip effects? Fiber Jar? Bring all of those back. All the jars, bring my boys. The Jarsome dies. Bring them back to 1. And I guarantee you, nothing will happen. But Fiber Jar resets the duel. That's cool. It's a flip effect monster. What are you gonna do? Set it in Book of Taiyu? Shallow Grave? Ceasefire? You get my point. Flip effects are slow. Let's bring them all back. Except Night Assailant. I understand why Night Assailant's limited. So keep him limited. But every other one, honestly, bring it back. No one's gonna play them. I super doubt them. Protection Princess will be tier 0, guys. Yeah. Anyways, like, subscribe, Spotfire does forever. Next week we'll be back talking about regular cards. This is just a little bit of a one-off. Me getting my aggression out a little bit because I love this game. Surprisingly, yeah. But the way I see some people, just go about it just makes me. So, like, subscribe, Spotfire Duelist. We'll be seeing you. I love you all. And peace.